Everyone in Boone County, Kentucky, had heard about the Lantern Man, a pale figure said to walk the old lumber trail after midnight, carrying a flickering lantern that never went out. Locals claimed he was looking for someone or something. Most dismissed it as small-town folklore meant to scare teens away from the forest. But for 23-year-old Danny Hales, stories like that were a challenge. One cold October night, when the fog was thick enough to blur the tree line, Danny told his friend Luke they were going to see the Lantern Man for themselves. "People say they hear him before they see him," Luke muttered, packing his flashlight. "Then we'll listen real close," Danny replied with a grin that didn't reach his eyes. They parked near an abandoned ranger post, half collapsed and covered in vines. The forest swallowed sound. Even their footsteps seemed muffled. The deeper they went, the more the air smelled like wet earth and rust. Danny joked about ghosts to keep the mood light, but Luke wasn't laughing. Around 1 a.m, they reached the spot where the old trail split in two. According to a local Reddit thread, that was where the Lantern Man appeared most often. Suddenly, a faint light shimmered through the trees, not bright, but steady, like someone walking with an oil lamp. "See?" Danny whispered. "Could be a camper," but Luke's face drained of color. "Who camps out here in October?" They crept closer. The light bobbed up and down between the trees, then stopped. Danny raised his phone to record, but the screen glitched and froze. A shape stood ahead, tall, draped in what looked like an old raincoat, a hood pulled over its head. In its hand was a rusted lantern glowing faintly yellow. The figure didn't move. "Hey," Danny called out. "You okay out there?" The figure turned slightly, and the light flickered, not from the lantern, but from inside its chest, like a candle burning beneath its ribs. Luke grabbed Danny's arm. "Let's go," he hissed, but Danny took another step forward. That's when the forest went dead silent. No wind, no crickets, only the faint crackle of the lantern's flame. The figure began to walk, slow, deliberate steps crunching the leaves. Danny's flashlight flickered, then died. Luke turned to run, but Danny didn't move. The man's face was visible now, or what was left of it. The skin was gray, eyes hollow but faintly glowing like embers. "Are you lost?" Danny stammered. The Lantern Man stopped just a few feet away and raised his lantern higher. Inside the glass, Luke saw something. Not a flame, but a small human skull, charred black, its jaw twitching as if whispering words. The air grew cold enough to sting their lungs. Then, with a soft, rasping voice, the figure said, "Light the way, back home." Danny and Luke bolted through the woods, crashing through branches until they reached the car. When they looked back, the forest was empty. No light, no sound. Danny's phone, which had died earlier, buzzed to life on its own. On the screen was a photo, blurry but unmistakable, of the Lantern Man standing right behind them. They sped back to town in silence. The next morning, Luke's mom found his jacket on the porch, soaked, covered in mud, and smelling like kerosene. Danny swore he'd delete the video, but when he checked, the photo folder was gone. Instead, there was one new file, labeled Lantern Home. When he opened it, the screen glowed with a dull orange light, and from somewhere inside his phone speaker, a whisper said, "Thank you for showing me the way." For the next week, Danny barely slept. He kept seeing a flicker of light outside his window, always around midnight. He told himself it was a reflection from passing cars. But Boone County didn't have many cars at night, not on his street. On the 7th night, He heard footsteps on gravel. He pulled back the curtain and froze. There, at the edge of the woods behind his house, was the same pale figure, lantern glowing softly in the fog. A light grew brighter until it filled the room like firelight. Neighbors later said they saw flames but no smoke. By dawn, Danny's house was empty. His phone lay on the bed, its screen cracked and still glowing faint orange, the same color as a lantern burning in the dark Kentucky woods.